So this last message in this particular series comes from Saint Germaine. And this one's really interesting. I just reviewed it a little bit before I decided to read it to you. It came in on August 17th of 2015. And I was still on vacation. What's great about me being on vacation, there isn't a lot of other stuff to get in the way, right? It's just me and nature. And in this case, me, nature, and Saint Germaine. This message is really interesting. I think that you will get a lot out of it. So here goes. This is Saint Germaine, guardian of the light. Also another entity with whom you have never communicated. Again, this has been so because until now it has never been necessary, and you have never been so clear. As you clear your layers of belief, the more of who you really are you become, and the more connected to your divine essence you become. You ask how it is possible you haven't seen the light wave coming and where it is coming from. Oh, so this is in regard to the light wave, the gamma wave that I was talking about a couple of episodes ago, that is coming in really powerfully now in 2020. So he's going to talk about this. I am the one who was chosen to explain this to you, dear one. It is starlight coming from the heavens, a pulse of light much brighter than your own sun, traveling at the speed of light toward you. Your scientists saw this light growing and call it a pulsar. They know it is coming and approximately when, although this is not taught to the average cosmologist. It is yet at least 6 months away and will appear as an ever-brightening star, just as the Star of the East once was. This has happened before, yet your scientists don't know what or how the wave will affect life on Earth. The gamma waves, G waves, are light waves that are blinding but do not destroy life, only illuminate it. So before this message came in, a friend and I had been talking about these G waves that she had said her guides were telling her were coming, and we were calling them God waves and Goddess waves, but I wasn't quite sure what they are, so it's really interesting that Germaine is explaining this to me. And then after I finish reading this, I'll explain to you something that's really cool that happened afterwards. So the gamma waves are G waves. They are light waves that are blinding, but not. The fullness of this light will wash over you, and with it expose all darkness. Already you have been experiencing the pulses of energy that raise the vibration of humanity. Fear of what is coming without warning will be the greatest cause of chaos. This is why you need to be prepared so that you can avoid the hysteria and stay inside with the brightest light as the brightest light has passed by. Timing the arrest of those who have kept the world in darkness to coincide with the light wave is crucial. Already, our own secret service is in place. The cleanup crew is in place. We are locked and loaded, awaiting and ready to go. Note that there will be some loss of life for those who cannot escape the light. Some over-radiation can prove impossible for some to withstand. We will protect as many as we can to preserve all life on Earth. Animals will be unaffected by these rays as they are already in alignment with them. These waves are emotional waves, waves of love. As your animal species are already aligned, they will be unaffected. Those who are in the greatest fear at the very top and the very bottom will be the most affected and unable to absorb what is coming, as you have already seen by the precursor waves that are now washing across the planet. Your planet ascending at the same time as its people, combined with astrological events, has the entire universe watching. What you do at ground zero, feet on the ground, will determine your place among the stars. From the chaos of it all, you will emerge victorious as a species and a planet, finally coming together in the true understanding of oneness. Those of you who understand this are the teachers of the rest. As the wave passes, many will go back to life as usual, not realizing just how much life has really changed. They can never again be the same as unused DNA, what our scientists call junk DNA, is activated and divine human blueprint is restored. As a result of this light wave, your entire planet will be activated in the fourth dimension. People will begin seeing, experiencing, knowing things that were impossible before. It will no longer be woo-woo for a chosen few, but normal for all as unseen gifts are brought into the light and openly embraced. For now, releasing its grip on humanity. Oh, fear, now releasing its grip on humanity. You ask about the manipulation of the timeline. There is no line per se, only a field of possibilities. However, there were and is an overall game plan that was put into place to assist humanity's ascension in alignment with astrological events. That was thrown off track, and while the overall plan is still in place, I write side notes. How you arrive at it is a bit more messy than we had planned. We had hoped for relatively smooth sailing rather than the emergency plan we are now in. The dark side has pushed it to the very last second, nanoseconds. After the light wave, the people will wake up and return to love with little difficulty or resistance. All they need is to be fed love, and they will fall in love as their true resonance. Now, regarding the global currency reset and redistribution of wealth. The GCR and RDW are two separate events. The GCR will come first as it is necessary to establish evidence of the manipulation of your currencies and create a paper trail. The entire purpose of the GCR to the powers that be was to create more wealth for themselves and track amongst themselves. The little people and their pittance are inconsequential to them. The redistribution of wealth among all beings on earth will occur after the very public arrests of all involved as we go into their tunnels and flush them out. Yes, the tunnels, underground cities, are very real. Taxpayers have been unknowingly invested billions upon billions for the preservation of the elite when the light wave arrives. Some have storehouses filled with necessary goods and services for the rich and famous. Business is booming behind closed doors. As the criminals are brought forth and found out, reparations will be made to all the people on earth. That is your global redistribution of wealth. Governments will finally take care of the people they were intended to support and protect. Look to January 2016 for the light wave. The intense G waves will drive the human ants underground. You will receive more details as they become necessary. So what was interesting about that is I had no idea, and now looking back, that January 2016 is when Trump got put into office. That's when he was inaugurated. And that's really interesting is his commitment to drain the swamp. I think that's what Saint Germain was saying about the ants going underground. He wasn't talking about, human ants, but that these, yeah, some people are literally calling them like not completely human, that they were driven underground because the amount of light that's coming to the planet, and they are so afraid of being exposed. So hiding any which way they possibly can. So that's interesting. I just now got that interpretation of that. Now, what I was seeing back in 2015 about this, what I found really fascinating, is that I was outside channeling this message, and I came inside and not really knowing what gamma waves were. As I was channeling this message from Saint Germain, the impression I was getting I was getting the impression that these are God waves, G waves, God waves, gamma waves, and but they're really, really powerful waves and really important for our transformation. But I didn't quite understand why. That apparently they're going to be resetting our DNA and activating the junk DNA, as scientists call it. So I went inside the house. My family was there, and they were getting ready to watch a movie, and they were trying to decide what movie to watch. And they decided to watch X-Men, which I don't remember the beginning of it. A lot of times my kids will start playing a movie and I miss the beginning because I'm mom and I'm cleaning up meals or whatever. So I usually miss the beginning of a lot of movies. But that one I saw, which was really interesting, is they put X-Men in to watch it. And what happened in X-Men is that these 4 people were in space and they were hit by gamma waves, which I was like, oh my gosh, they were hit by gamma waves. And the gamma waves actually activated their superpowers. So I got really excited. So for people who are afraid of the gamma waves that have been coming to the planet, and they've been coming in increasing waves, these are actually activating their spiritual gifts. And they're activating this 5th dimensional gifts that a lot of people have and just haven't been able to access or haven't been able to fully utilize. And the junk DNA isn't junk at all. It's just DNA that hasn't been reactivated. It's part of our divine human blueprint. Now, the other thing that Saint Germain had explained to me another time was that the chemtrails that have been sprayed for years are actually an attempt to block us from receiving these gamma waves as they come in, because they're ascension waves. They're actually here to help us wake up. So apparently today, 9/18/2020, another huge blast came in. And I think that is a big part of the heat waves that we've been having. We had some huge heat waves last year. These last couple of weeks, we've had some massive heat waves. I think that's what they are. And some people are predicting them as being a solar flare, as being these solar flashes. I think it's all that same terminology that's being used for the same event, that more and more light is coming to the planet, and as more and more light comes to the planet and the planet herself lightens up, that the darkness can't even exist here anymore, that the shadow people have to leave, the demons have to leave, the energy that we've called Satan, the devil, whatever, those are, he's got a dozen different names, 1,000 different names for God. There's also 1,000 different names for darkness, and that all of that is being purged from the planet. And the more light that comes in, there will be people who won't be able to make the transition. The gamma waves that are being brought in, they won't be able to make that transition. And just to understand that's part of the process, in order for us to have this ascended planet that we're all looking forward to. So that is Saint Germain's message about the gamma waves and about the GCR and global reset. I can talk about that a little bit more. That is also in the process of happening. Finally, we've been working on this for years, and I can say from what I know about what's happening behind the scenes, and I'm not privy to say right now, I'm not allowed to say anything, but that it is in the works. The global currency reset first. and that is a rebalancing of the money systems, and that money is going to bypass the powers that be. They are not going to be happy about it because they are going to see their worlds crumble. And then the redistribution of wealth, which is where all those people who have stolen money from the people are going to have to give their money back to humanity. So what comes out of that is a golden age where everybody who remains is going to have plenty of money to work with to clean up the mess that's been made and to make this whole world a better place where everyone thrives, not just the lucky few at the top. So with that, I'll see you next time. I have a really great message that came in. This notebook is really fun. A message that came in from Archangel Michael on 8/20/15. And if that looks appropriate, I will share that with you. A lot of these messages are just for me personally, so I don't share my personal stuff with you. But messages that come in for the whole of humanity, I'm really excited to share. Okay, see you next time.